Alex, Bozeman, your boss. We're expecting deplorables from Disrupt to hack the signal tonight. Perhaps you could leave your personal beliefs at home and try not to let them ruin the broadcast. Even if you don't care for the government, I assume you understand you have a vested interest in us staying on the air. Stay out of the orange.
Nutritious meal out of a can of condensed milk, a cow's milk, and some lemon.
So, Julia's team have asked me to ask you to keep it light.
Well, what does that mean?
It means to do that thing you do where you turn politicians into humans. Just don't get drawn into talking about the war, or politics in general. Really.
They do know this is the news, don't they?
You didn't hear this from me, but apparently there's a crew at Team HQ right now. I think she's giving a speech or something tonight. They'll get it on the late news.
Oh, great. So they get the brains and we get the performing monkey.
Sometimes you sound just like him, you know.
How are you?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I miss him too, you know.
10 seconds, everybody.
Rumpled old sod.
Don't.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolfe. It's the 140th day of war. Our main headlines tonight. Company of Heroes. Skirmishes on land and sea again today as our armed forces tested the mettle of the World Council's illegal blockade. Advance's strategy of multiple small-scale incursions into the disputed zone is certainly keeping the enemy on high alert, unable to work out where or when the next strike will come. Sadly, however, more casualties were reported today, and as the weeks and months of this war make ever more demands on our armed services, those numbers will, tragically, only continue to rise. Don't starve. Advance's food programme moved from strength to strength today as rationing depots were opened in the last remaining unfed areas of the territory. The rationing depots have been constructed in record time, and the government's agricultural coordination strategy has seen shelves restocked with increasing regularity. However, with a reported rise in mental and physical health issues since the imposition of the blockade, critics have questioned whether those smaller communities which are only now starting to receive help could have been better and quicker served. 7 days to die. The recent decision to allow those with long-term health conditions to access transition centres has today been declared an overwhelming success. Previously available only to those in their final years, the expansion of the service has been met with relief by the many organisations calling for it to be opened up to the wider community. The transition centres have reported larger than expected numbers, but report that they are coping well and able to provide a complete and meaningful service to all who choose to use it. Populace. More than 11% of the population have thus far failed to register for a team membership card, a worrying statistic given that the cards are a legal requirement from midnight tonight. It's up to the other 89% of us to remind our tardy friends that not taking advantage of all the exclusive services available to cardholders is now, as it should be, absolutely criminal. Start me up. Disrupt spokesman Alan James held an impromptu rally today in the northern city of Mankipool. Large crowds gathered to hear the band speaker prove Disrupt are still able to capture the public's imagination. A representative from the Mankley Pool Community Cohesion Team described the event as mostly peaceful. But it looks like Disrupt aren't going quietly into the night. And finally tonight, our mutual friend. Bail was denied in the High Court today for shamed former National Nightly News anchor Jeremy Donaldson. The presenter will be transferred to new lodgings at Penton Ridge Prison while the lengthy preparations for his trial, which is still 18 months away, begin. Following his very public breakdown on this programme 10 weeks ago, the once loved presenter was disarmed and taken into custody by the Community Cohesion Team. Let's hope doctors can help the once great man. But first this evening, with the war about to enter its 21st punishing week and people hurting up and down the country, I'll be grilling unpredictable Prime Minister Peter Clement in an exclusive interview from his home in Lanfordshire. That's coming up on tonight's National Nightly News. I'm a little overexcited to announce I'll be interviewing the one and only Lil C. And later we've got a new feature that's sure to keep you coming back for more. But first tonight, let's check in with Prime Minister Peter Clement, who's speaking to us from his home in Lanfordshire. Good evening, Prime Minister. Have we caught you exercising?
Oh, have we started? Yes, that's right, Miss Wolf. Just a few minor adjustments. I mean, nothing drastic. I haven't joined the gym or anything. As my old mum used to say, just because she won't take it up the shit, it doesn't mean you shouldn't try for a quick fiddle up the car park.
Language, Prime Minister.
What? Quick fiddle? What's wrong? Oh, shitter. It's shitter, isn't it? Yep, that's the one.
And can you tell us what brought about this new you?
Well, you know, Mrs. C and I were watching, you know, the night the blockade began, when Jeremy Donaldson, well, you know, and it were blistering hot, as I'm sure you all remember. And I were a bit wheezy from all the cigars and all that. And Mrs. C turns to me after, you know.
Get some of that Disrupt propaganda out. Try not to do that, Alex. We're watching you.
And she says, Peter, she said, I couldn't go on without you, she said. So I made a decision. And since that day, I have stopped smoking cigars. Except for Christmas. My birthday. Weddings. State dinners. That's what I say. I got this useless running backwards doesn't go anywhere. And apparently I'm going on a walking holiday this Christmas, and that should finish me off for bloody good.
Did you make the decision to holiday within the country this winter because of the blockade, Prime Minister?
Well, Mrs. C has never liked travelling at the best of times. These are certainly not the best of times. On that we can all agree. There's a lot of red tape involved in leaving the territory, as I'm sure you're all aware. Some of those farmers are bastard long.
All in it together.
What? All in it together! Oh, yeah. Also, it doesn't seem very advanced to be going abroad when the rest of the country is grounded.
And yet Julia Salisbury announced today that she'll be visiting Svenland during this year's winter break. Is that really an example of team spirit?
What? Did you know about this, Gail?
No one tells me anything, Peter. You should know that.
Why don't you know?
Well, leaving that for a moment, it says on this card that a body like yours must take some planning to achieve. What's your morning routine?
Well, I have a frigid morning routine.
Rigid. It's rigid, for fuck's sake!
Oh, yeah. A rigid and demanding plan that my doctor and personal trainer
Who's your personal trainer?
some prick called Clark. Is that on your card?
I thought you might wonder. Prime Minister, speaking of planning, with the blockade in its 20th week and the people of this country reeling from its effects, what plans do you have to get us out of this mess?
Well, that's a very blunt question, Miss
Surely
Wolf.
one for which you, the democratically elected Prime Minister, must have an answer.
Don't you get smart with me, Pat. I was a fucking national treasure before you were a twinkle in the milkman's scrotum. You want to talk about plans? Let me tell you about plans. That's all we do. Fucking plans and revised plans, and then meetings to discuss the implementation of plans and plans and yet more planning for fucking plans and yet more fucking plans.
Well, that's good. That's good to know, Prime
Do you
Minister.
know, I used to really like you, Pat. You were a breath of fresh air. But I've been watching you, and you know what? You get more like him every day.
I will take that as a compliment. Prime Minister, later on this evening, your co-leader, Julia Salisbury, is going to give a national address from team headquarters. Can you give us a hint of what she's going to say?
Yes. Well, I imagine that there
Sorry,
will be
sorry, you
the
imagine?
usual... No, what I mean is...
You do know about this broadcast, don't you, Prime Minister?
Well, I'm sure I did. But Julia and I have no secrets from each other. We don't memorize each other's bloody diaries either. As my old mum used to say, if you wanted to get a job done quick, don't get bogged down in the pew. What else you got?
Sorry?
Only cards, what else? A little piece of my life do you want to rustle through? Get out, refill my glass. Sir. Ah, come on. Come on.
Okay. What music do you listen to when you work out?
Well, Gail tells me that I work out to Little C, but I have absolutely no fucking idea who that is. Do you think the C stands for...
It stands for collaborative, Prime Minister.
Yeah, actually, that does make more sense, actually.
How's rationing affecting you?
It's hard, but we get by. You just have to learn to get by on the basics. Take comfort in each other. I've got Mrs. C and many a fine single malt. I want for nothing.
So for a decent night's sleep, of course.
Prime Minister, thank you for joining us. When we come back, it's time for the Culture Spot with Lil C and a world premiere performance of her new song. I genuinely...
Now to that, find out what that duplicitous...
After this.
1 minute back, everybody.
And that is what happens when you wander from the car.
I don't think he knew about it.
With a pre-Christmas crazy Christmas deal. It's post-Christmas, it's pre-Christmas, it's all of the Christmas. Ho, 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 it's a sale. It's gonna go, go, go. Come on down and pull a cracker. It'll go bang in your face and you'll take whatever comes out. Yay! Christmas pineapple on a tree. Take 2 bottles, take 3. We don't care.
What
how many
uncivilized?
bottles. Take a
I read
candle.
books.
Set fire to your Christmas tree. Set fire to your life. If you're thinking Christmas is a way off and the